right, that time of the season, the NFL season is officially here, as football will consume everybody whole this year. So yeah, the Lions season begins this year, where for the first time in a while, the Lions enter this season with very big expectations this year, especially with a wide open NFC North. But of course, before they could get there, though, they have to complete their first step this week, as they play a Thursday night game to kick off the season in Kansas City at Arrowhead against the reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl heavyweight champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, the Chiefs mainly winning that game thanks to a little help from ref ball, but hey, they still won the championship either way. But yeah, not going to be an easy feat since it'll be the Super Bowl night. The Chiefs will be hanging their Super Bowl banner up in the stadium and celebrating last year's championship. But yeah, big game against the Kansas City Chiefs to open the season. The Chiefs, honestly, you look at the Chiefs, even though they lost some talent, they're still going to be probably the team to beat in the AFC, especially with Mahomes still there. Like, honestly, the top two teams in the AFC, I see it being between Kansas City and Cincinnati, with maybe Jacksonville having an outside shot if everything goes right for them. But yeah, for entering this game, so for the point spread entering this game, the spread, it was initially set a 7-point spread. But of course, with Chris Jones sitting now with the contract disputes, and then the big news about Travis Kelce hyperextending his knee in practice and potentially being questionable and out for this game against Detroit. The point spread has now changed to Kansas City only favored by 5.5 points. So about a 1.5 point drop from what they were initially favored as. Of course, not going to be a tough cast for the Lions. Kansas City, they lead the all-time series against Detroit 9-5. And it's just the first time Detroit has played in Kansas City in over a decade. Because the last time the Kansas City and Detroit was the road team against Kansas City, that was the London game. And less said about that London game, the better. But yeah, of course, the Lions have usually struggled up in Arrowhead. Like, to put in perspective, the last time the Lions won in Kansas City at Arrowhead, it was all the way back in 1988. In fact, that's the only time the Lions have ever won at Arrowhead. Lions have struggled in Kansas City ever since. So yeah, not going to be an easy task 100%. And of course, the Chiefs have won the last two meetings against Detroit. And both those games, Kansas City scored at least 30 points in both games. So of course, for this game, Detroit was 4-4 on the road last year. Kansas City was super good at home last year. Went 7-1 at home. Their only home loss last year was against the Buffalo Bills early in the season. But yeah, of course, with all that said, and by the way, that game in 1988 that Detroit won at Arrowhead, Detroit won that in a defensive game 7-6. So there's your history lesson of the day. But yeah, anyway, let's talk about the key players on the Chiefs offense. So of course, at offense, we have the man leading the show with the number one QB in the league, and of course, the NFL's golden boy, Patrick Mahomes. As Mahomes has become also one of the most hated QBs in the league too, mainly because of his wife and his brother posting stupid shit on the internet. And also his brother is now a woman beater, is now a woman beater too. From the offseason. That and the most least surprising news there is. The running back core, they don't really have a running back core, a number one running back. It's more running back by committee. But they got three talented backs that get the job done. You had Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who looks like the number one guy. But he also had a pretty dynamic duo last year with the emergence of Isaiah Pacheco. And, of course, you have the journeyman Jerick McKinnon. The wide receiving core, they could potentially be, other than Travis Kelce being questionable and possibly out with that hyperextended knee. Kadarius Toney is also questionable with a knee after a meniscus injury. So he's questionable for the game. But they do got other talented wideouts too, like Marquez Scantling. They got Sky Moore, Richie James, Justin Watson, Rashid Rice, and Justin Ross. Tight end core, tight end other than Travis Kelce, they also are going to be without Jody Fortson, as he's on the IR with a shoulder injury. But they also got other talented tight ends, too, like Noah Gray and Blake Bell. So even without Travis Kelce, Mahomes still got a pretty good fair share of weapons to work with. On defense, though, of course, for defense, Chris Jones, he won't be playing in this game because of contract disputes. Because, yeah, Jones is still looking for a new contract. And there's been rumors about him potentially being traded. And, of course, if you believe any of the rumors, which with all rumors, you got to take it with a grain of salt. But the one rumor I've been hearing is that the Lions might be the front runners to potentially get Chris Jones in the sweepstakes. And I heard the trade does potentially involve Isaiah Buggs. From some of the rumors. I mean, most rumors, though, you got to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, I want to be against Chris Jones, a double-digit sack leader last year. Would pretty much be the big piece on our defensive line. To the defensive line. I want to be 100% against it, but time will tell what happens with the Chris Jones situation. But other than that, though, the Chiefs' defense still has some talented pass rushers. You got George Karlaftis, there, that bad. As he had a really good rookie season last year, and there's a chance he probably goes for double-digit sacks this season. They also drafted the rookie Felix Anudike-Uzomah, as he'll be brought in to be a big-name player. Of course, they're also going to be, though, they did bring in Charlie Omahali, but he will be serving a 6-game suspension starting this week for violating the NFL personal conduct policy for domestic abuse. Says, yeah, he shoved the one for shoving a woman. Oh, look, woman beaters in Kansas City. Where have we seen this before? A Chiefs player beating up a woman? This totally has never happened before in the Chiefs organization. Totally didn't happen with Kareem Hunt and Tyreek Hill. That is preposterous. Never happened. But they do got other pieces in there. You got Mike Dana also to anchor that defensive line. They also got solid linebacker. They also got a pretty improved linebacking core in Nick Bolton. You also got Willie Gray, Leo Chanel. You also got Dutre. And then the secondary got a lot of names in there like Drew Tranquil. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Drew Tranquil in there. Oh, no, wait, they don't got... Let me see, hold on. Okay, I'm back. I just had to reread my notes. There is a Drew Tranquil, but he also rounds out the linebacking core, not the secondary. In terms of secondary, though, good leeway right into it. The main leader on the secondary, with Jerry Sneed, he's questionable for the game with a knee injury. They're also potentially Z Johnson, he's on the IR for an ACL tear. But they got other names in that secondary. They got Trent McDuffie. They got Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams, Shamari Connor. You also got Nick Jones, Justin Reed, Brian Cook, Mike Edwards, and Deion Bush. So they got some talented players in that secondary still. The head coach of this squad, of course, is Andy Reid, who is one of the top coaches in the league. And then, of course, the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator are former failed head coaches, but I found some leeway under the guidance of Andy Reid. Probably just to be Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes puppets. Take your pick there, I guess. As the offensive coordinator, it's failed Chicago Bears head coach Matt Nagy. And the defensive coordinator is failed Los Angeles Rams / St. Louis Rams head coach. Because it was St. Louis by the time when this man was coaching the Rams. Steve Spagnuolo. So, yeah, and of course, on the Chiefs last year, they had the number 1 offense in the league. Number 1 in the passing game, but 20th in the rushing game. So, they struggled on the run, but Mahomes, though, his arm was a bazooka. And he just made throws with ease and just helping the Chiefs guide them to the second Super Bowl trophy and within a short amount of time. Like, they go second one in 4 years. But yeah, and of course, it was pretty evident the Chiefs had the number 1 offense since Patrick Mahomes is the reigning NFL MVP. And also won Super Bowl MVP last year, too. Had pretty much the whole Grand Slam. Mahomes, of course, being the first QB to win NFL MVP. The Super Bowl MVP since Kurt Warner back in 1999 from The Greatest Show on Turf. But yeah. And the Chiefs' defense, some may say the defense has been pretty bad, but they were a solid unit last year overall, as the Chiefs' defense was ranked 11th last year. They were a top 10 unit against the run, ranked 8th. But they struggled a bit against the passing game, being 18th against the pass. So they struggled a bit in the passing game, leaving some big plays open. But hey, when the Chiefs' offense was averaging around 29, 30 points a game, I guess that gives you a little bit of leeway, especially with Mahomes as your QB. But I think the big key of this game, though, is the Lions need to run the ball, balance the offense out, get some big plays out there, get Amon-Ra St. Brown and others involved. Feed the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery and that running back duo. The offense just needs to do their job this week. The big thing the offense needs to do is control time of possession this game and keep Patrick Mahomes off the field for as long as humanly possible. Because if they can keep Mahomes off the field, the Lions have a really good shot at possibly winning this game. Because Patrick Mahomes can't do any fucking damage out there if he's not on the field to begin with. So yeah, keep him off the field and you can't do his damage, Control the time of possession. Hold that ball for as long as possible. Give your defense a lot of rest. And the defense, of course, got to find a way to cover the receivers, get pressure to Patrick Mahomes. Because we've seen the past that if you can pressure Patrick Mahomes, which is pretty hard to do, since Mahomes is very hard to tackle with how much he scrambles out the ass and very fast to get away, and also can use his legs as a weapon too, being a mobile QB. Get pressure to Mahomes, he'll fold under pressure. We've seen it before, especially in the Super Bowl a couple years ago against Tampa when Mahomes was running for his life. For the Lions to win this game, they have to play damn near perfect in this game. And it's not going to be an easy task considering that Andy Reid-led teams are undefeated in Week 1. And the average margin of victory for Andy Reid-led teams in Week 1 has been around 12 points. So, the odds are firmly stacked against Detroit. But hey, maybe Detroit can conquer that streak of Andy Reid's. And maybe the Chiefs go full Reid again and bring full Reid back from the dead. Again? I don't know, a lot of things that need to go Detroit's way, though, to pull this off. And for Chiefs fans, they can't pull if Detroit wins, Chiefs fans can't pull we only went because we didn't have our best weapon, when ironically, the Lions don't have their best weapon for 6 games in Jameson Williams, as he's out for 6 games with that suspension for betting on betting on college games in a hotel room. Which is pretty fucking stupid. Since it was an NFL, but fuck. NFL's just find a way to get back at Detroit for ruining the NFL's agenda and keeping Green Bay out of playoffs last year. But yeah, for this game, though, not going to be an easy game, no doubt. Easily, this is going to be the Lions' hardest game of the season. And their hardest game of the season is what's opening the season. So yeah, here's the good news about facing the Chiefs in Week 1. It's our hardest game of the season, and it opens the year. Every other game kind of gets easier from here on out. It's going to be a hard game, a hard atmosphere to beat in Kansas City, especially with it being the Super Bowl banner night. The last time the Lions played the Chiefs, the Lions almost pulled it off. And that was with Matt Patricia. They almost beat Mahomes. But, of course, Mahomes worked some magic, and a little bit of ref ball went the Chiefs' way. Not going to be an easy game in the end, though. I think the Lions are going to have a shot to win this near the end. Don't get fooled by a point spread. I think this game's going to be a lot closer than people will think. I could see this game being a high-scoring shootout. But in the end, though, I think the Lions are going to get screwed in this game by ref ball. Because, honestly, I think this game is a trap. This game is a trap by the NFL because the NFL is going to do everything they can to make sure the Lions don't beat the Chiefs in Week 1. Come on, let's be honest. There is not a chance in hell the NFL is just going to let the Lions walk right into Arrowhead and beat their fucking golden boy on their Super Bowl banner night to open the season. No way the NFL is not going to let the Lions just walk in and do that. The NFL is going to do everything they can to make sure the Lions lose and make Mahomes look strong. Especially if Travis Kelce is out and the Chiefs still find a way to win them. And then Because if the Lions do pull the win off, they're not going to get any fucking recognition or kudos for the win by the outside media. And the media is just going to make every excuse for the Chiefs. And talk about, what happened to the Chiefs in this game. But of course, if the Lions lose this game, then the league continues to shit on the Lions. So, yeah. And of course, if the Lions lose this game, then a lot of the SOL daffs are going to be out of hiding again. When they should be back fucking dead in the goddamn basement in the sewer dwellers. But yeah, not going to be a hard game. I'm going to make a bold prediction. Lions have the lead entering the fourth quarter late. The Chiefs drive down the field when it looks like the Lions had stopped Mahomes and the Chiefs. The refs will call a BS roughing the passer penalty on, let's say, Hutchinson or James Houston. Or both. And they give Mahomes a fresh set of downs because both of them will hit Mahomes and tackle him down without putting a pill underneath Mahomes and giving him some milk and cookies. And Mahomes and the Chiefs get a fresh set of downs. Mahomes works his magic, gets the Chiefs to gain the lead and the win. And the Lions get screwed by ref ball. Shocking part is, folks, the Chiefs are the number one team at complaining about NFL officiating. Which, that's kind of ironic that the Chiefs are the ones that bitch and complain about the officiating most. When, ironically, the refs are the only reasons the Chiefs have won 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 years. From food for thought there. But yeah, even if the Lions do find a way to win this game, Chiefs fans will probably blame the refs or some shit like they always do. And just scream about it. When the refs are the reason why you're a potential dynasty in the fucking first place. Especially since Mahomes is the league's golden boy. But yeah, believe me, I want to win this game badly. I want to beat the fucking Chiefs and shut their racist ass fan base up. I want to beat them so badly. I want to beat the Chiefs KKK kingdom. Believe me, I do. But I'm just going to be realistic. I think the Lions are going to get fucked over in this game. So I have a gut feeling the Lions are going to get screwed. There is no chance in hell the NFL is just going to let the Lions beat the Golden Boy on opening night in front of a national audience. And besides, the whole broadcast, they're not even going to give the Lions much attention because it's all going to be about Patrick Mahomes. And oh, how great Mahomes is. Oh, Mahomes is the great quarterback. He's the second coming of Tom Brady. Oh, Mahomes is so great. I just want Mahomes to come over my fucking face all night long. Oh, yeah, baby. That's literally what the media is going to be the entire broadcast and leading up into the game. Just getting down all fours and sucking Mahomes off. They might make his wife Brittany, jealous about it. That they suck him off more than she does. But yeah. I have a gut feeling something's going to happen to the Lions. I'm going to say for a final score, I'm going to think Kansas City wins it 26-23. I have the Chiefs winning by 3 points. I think it'll be the first time an Andy Reid led team will not win the Week 1 game by double digits. I think that'll be the first time, but Reid will still remain undefeated. Gonna be a tough game, not an easy game, but I mean, it's a game I don't have a lot of confidence entering in, but I mean, hey, if the Lions play near perfect and they capitalize on the mistakes they made 4 years ago against the Chiefs, then I think possibly winning isn't out of the question. But not going to be an easy task. I don't know, I just have a feeling the NFL is going to pull some dirty tricks to make sure the Chiefs win this game, so that Mahomes looks good in front of a national audience. Or maybe the NFL shows mercy and actually stops fucking Detroit over for once. Could they? Could the NFL start respecting the Lions for once? Possibly, but I still have my doubts.